Windows cracked and the stars peeking. Veil so thin where dreams begin. Whispers hum like an ancient hymn. I sit, I drift the cosmos.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. So this is going to be a quick little forecast for you in referencing the eclipse that's currently going on in Virgo at 29 degrees. So we're going to look at this like a little weather report. If you followed me on my Instagram back in the day, I used to do weekly energetic reports. So I'm tapping into this eclipse that's going on currently. Afterwards, I will do a quick little card session to give you any additional information. And with that being said, here we go. And yes, I may or may not be wearing a onesie right now. I have many. So, first, today's energetic forecast looks cloudy. With the eclipse again in Virgo, we're looking at boundary energies being disrupted and tensions around ending cycles. So it might feel like a front moving through of old patterns, but they're being exposed right now. And things that have been presenting problems are going to become very visible, even the ones that were currently pushed under the rug. As we go through the day, Mercury is closely involved here. So communication details may be overly critical at the moment, as well as looking for inner reflection might be helpful, but be careful about delusions versus reality. This eclipse will also trine Uranus and Pluto, offering a slight insight, flash moments of revelations, especially around long-held blocks. You might have sudden clarity about something that needs to be addressed or removed. And then as we clear out the energy, we're looking at opportunities for fresh starts. What the new moon aspect means, seeds are being planted right now. So be careful about what you're manifesting, what you're putting energy to, especially areas in life around health, service, routines, and order. This energy will be effective for the coming weeks, but because it's an eclipse, these effects could be more long-term. So think about 6 months or more, and sometimes messy before they settle. And again, we're looking at impacts in areas that Virgo has an influence in. Again, health, service, routines, and order. So let's move further down the list as we go into what to look for when we're talking about different aspects about this energy. So some core themes that you might experience with this eclipse, it's bringing a reset. And I think I spoke about this in previous sessions. Virgo is immutable earth, so there's a strong theme of finishing out what doesn't work. So think about decluttering. You might be in an easier space to remove things, letting go of things that you were holding on to in the past, letting go of perfectionism, and stepping into a more grounded, practical mode. The 29th degree, which is at the end of Virgo, intensifies this. It's like you're reaching your limit, right? You're at your wit's end about certain situations in life that will allow you to remove them easier. When we're talking about health and routine, Virgo rules health, service, daily work, rituals, and habits. So expect these areas to be illuminated for some. So changes in your routine, revelations about what's in your daily life has been out of balance and how to address it. Again, with Mercury's involvement, we're talking about communication and mindset, how you think, what you believe, and how you speak up for yourself. It's going to be under scrutiny right now. So watch for overly harsh self-talk and try to ground your thoughts. You can be seeing some of this stuff that I'm talking about too being reflected on a grand scale. But it's probably a good time to avoid making big promises or decisions when you're under stress. And that's just not for here and now. That's good advice for just everyday life. Now, relationships and boundaries. Opposition, such as Sun, Saturn, which is in Pisces right now, suggests that there might be tension between what you want to shine and what you fear, or you're feeling restricted. There may be a karmic test or something in partnerships involving life demanding more maturity and more clarity. So, things that you're not sure about, things that have been immature in the past, are going to be coming up to the front to be addressed. And then finally, I want to highlight the spiritual inner work. Given the previous retrogrades, given the current retrogrades, Neptune's involvement, illusions and delusions are going to start to dissolve. Also, fears might pop up. But the point is, it's time for growth. So there's a strong call to listen more deeply to your intuition, spend more time to reflect before making decisions, and perhaps start to look at forming spiritual practices that have been left and pushed to the side for a while. Now, you're probably wondering what signs might be impacted the most. So, baseline, we're looking at Virgo, obviously. Very intense. It's almost like an identity reset. You're finishing out old chapters where you are the epicenter. So new personal energies might erupt, it might arise, and people might not even recognize you once this energy blows through. Gemini, changes at home and around foundations might impact what you're doing on day-to-day life. Something in your private life or family may be shifting, ending, or being restricted. So definitely take time to look at what can be done, how to address it, and just be flexible and fluid as this time helps you reset. Sagittarius. This is around career and public role being revised. Perhaps you've been feeling blocked lately or just not being able to adjust in the roles or do what you've been hired to do. Doors may open or clarity may come on what steps you might need to take to reset this area in your life. And finally, Pisces, your relationships, your partnerships, or deep emotions are in focus right now. So old illusions might dissolve with new clarity coming in about what feels right and real versus what was just a projection. So use this energy wisely. Now, other signs will also feel this impact, but more through ripple effects. So where are your mutable signs? Look for how they're shifting and how they're going to affect your connections. But it's not just about sun and moon. We want to look at some other signs that might be impacted, looking at other angles. So if you have rising, your rising sign is in Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, or Pisces, or your rising sign is near the 29th degree, the eclipse will hit you more strongly in how you present to the world, your identity, and your approach to the day. So check wherever Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces are, the degree, if one of those are your rising sign. Mercury is placed near the eclipse degree. So this again is those big shakeups in thinking, communication, and misunderstandings. So just be prepared to be able to highlight, maneuver, and resolve areas in that space. And again, we're also seeing this play out on a bigger stage. Venus and Mars are impacted, and you may see shifts in relationships, values, what you love, and what you spend your time and resources on. And wherever the moon is placed in your chart, it will show up where this is emotionally impacting. So if your moon is in a mutable sign or opposed to Virgo, it might bring up some insecurities that you need to purge. So hopefully this is going to give you an indicator on what you need to do as you prepare for this energy. So slow down, clean up, journal, meditate, pay attention to your dreams, set practical intentions, not vague wishes, and be gentle with relationships because boundaries may need enforcing. So hopefully this is helpful for your energy weather report for this eclipse season. And now we're going to go into our session. All right, all right, all right. So if you are coming here from the session that we just had, our weather report session for eclipse, this is just going to give you some additional information. If you haven't watched the weather report for the eclipse season, go check it out. Some good information there, especially if you have Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces in any of your major placements on your chart. All right, so what we're looking at right now is going to be what to expect in the next few days around this eclipse season. I am hearing shakeups, even though there's a lot of shakeups going on a major scale across the globe. I do pick up there's something else coming in, adding to the shakeup. So when I'm saying adding, it doesn't feel like it's a brand new issue. It feels like something comes in, revealed, or broadcasted that adds to what we're already experiencing. So just keep your eye out for that. And the channeled message I got, I haven't shared it on this channel yet. On my other channel, was to reassess your circle, fortify your village, and plan ahead. So again, that's reassess your circle, fortify your village, and plan ahead. I wasn't given any additional context when that download came in, but I know I needed to share it. So let's go ahead and jump into these cards. So I'm wearing a onesie. It's a Friday the 13th Halloween pink onesie. It's very comfy, but just in case you're wondering. All right, two shuffles. I will say what I'm picking up is these energies are going to be very specific. They will help all areas or all placements, but specifically Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. If you have those anywhere, um, you most likely will get some messages in this card pull. I'm not going to make this too long because this is kind of a part two to the weather report. Um, but let's go ahead and jump into this. So right off the bat, again, I'm picking up that unsettled energy. It does feel like I'm gonna tell you already if there has been somebody or if you've already been doing the work of reassessing, like I got in that message, reassessing who needs to be in your circle, who doesn't. It does feel like this is causing like a disruption for whomever these people are. Like it was unexpected, this switch in perspective from you. And I will say it is causing like disruption. Like for some, I'm hearing, who does she think she is? Or who does he think he is? For some, I'm hearing, oh, we're at this again because it feels like it's a back and forth. For some, I'm hearing like they're actually hurt. So again, it depends on the situation. This is specifically people who've already done the walk away, or had a conversation. For some, it wasn't an actual walk away. It was just like somebody laying out what you're not going to do moving forward. Like it feels like, and this could be not just relationships, it could be for job, it could be for family units, but it really does feel like I've done this, we've done this, it's not working, and I'm not doing this again. Because what you're What you're looking for is peace, right? What you're looking for is balance. What you're looking for is clarity. And it doesn't feel like this person was doing that or the situation was doing that for you. Um, and if you haven't had that, and if this is something you're thinking about doing, I will definitely tell you that with where the planets are, where this eclipse season is, um, this is the energy is definitely supporting that if this is something that you're wanting to do. Again, it might feel a little disorienting, but the transformation is definitely available. Um, and not just at a surface level. This is pretty deep, the transformations that are available, the energy that's supporting this. This is around beliefs, fears, and long-term commitments. Okay. I mean, it honestly feels like a storm brewing in, but the outcome is a good one because the outcome leaves clarity. In like for me, when I tell people when there's a storm brewing in, the storm comes, but after the storm, the sky is so clear. So I live on the coast and I've done and experienced a lot of hurricanes and one thing or tropical weather phenomena. And one thing I always will say, once that system leaves, once that storm is done, there's hardly ever any clouds in the sky. And if you have gone through hurricanes or lived on the coast, you probably, if you've noticed, I'm kind of a weather person, so you'll notice that the sky is almost always clear after a storm. One of the reasons is it's pulling all the clouds and everything into the system. So when the system passes, there's no clouds left, none of that moisture and whatnot. But it's also nice symbolism around when a storm blows through, what's left is clarity. So, not looking at situations where to be scared, I would not, and this is not to make anybody frightened. This is letting you know, again, especially if you have prominent Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo energy, that the energy right now is supporting major change for you to get in alignment and get clarity. So back to the cards, we have Eight of Swords, the Devil, Queen of Cups, the Chariot, Temperance, Five of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and Seven of Swords. So, like I was saying before, if this has already happened, if you have already made this push, the person or the situation, they're not settled with it. They're feeling left out. They don't know exactly what direction you're coming from. Like, are you for real, for real? Like, are you doing this for real? Um, and waiting to hear or get some information from you that you're for real about this, right? So it could be a situation where there was a conversation, and now that person is like, well, let me wait, let me hold back before I say anything else, because maybe this person's just having a bad day, or maybe there's more information I need, right? Um, oh, so let's see what else is coming here. What's the Seven of Swords here? We'll clarify the Seven of Swords because that energy feels weird. It doesn't feel like a standard Seven of Swords energy. So let me see why the Seven of Swords is here. Nature is going to be big. If you're able to get outside, if you're feeling heaviness around these placements, um, and you're able to get outside, I would suggest doing that. Nature is a big thing with trying to get you settled. Touch grass with your feet, bare feet. That helps you ground as well. Why is the Seven of Swords? What's the Seven of Swords here? What's the Seven of Swords here? Interesting. So we have the moon. Yeah, it feels like this person. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This person might not, this person might presenting or the situation, again, it doesn't have to be romantic. This could be family, this could be work, but it feels like this person is acting like they're unfazed, and they totally are. Like all of this, the anxiety, the being left out, the obsessiveness, they're totally phased, but they're acting like they're not. And again, I'm seeing Pisces here. King of Pentacles is probably representing the Virgo energy. Those two signs are going to be pretty impacted by this particular card pull, which makes sense, right? Because there were the bookmarked eclipses. First it was Pisces and then it was Virgo. But it definitely feels like a pull away has occurred or is about to occur, um, because you're wanting balance. You're wanting movement and balance. And it feels like whatever this is stagnant, but know that whatever you've chosen to say, you know what, I'm good, or we've done this before, or what you're offering is just not enough for me. Um, if it was a job interview, right, that person could be like, okay, well, thank you for coming out. Da 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 da. Let us know if you change your mind or blah blah blah. Acting like they're not stressed, and they totally are, right? If it's a family member, family has so many dynamics, so that can be anything. But acting like they're not stressed, but they totally are. If it was a romantic partner, that person could be acting like they're not stressed and don't care, but they totally do. But it feels like this, and again, the energy is complementing this because it definitely feels like you're serious about it. This doesn't feel like I'm just doing this to push your buttons, to get a reaction, and maybe you'll do what I want you to do. The energy I'm picking up right now is like you don't care if the person does what you want them to. It's like this is what it is, and you're either going to get with it or you're not. But I'm going in my direction. So if you're shotgun riding with me, cool. If not, that's fine. When what the difference is where that person is acting like they're unbothered, you are totally unbothered. You're like, look, I'm good. So that again, this is a positive way of how these energies are supporting that time of reassessment, right? Looking at how we are transforming these belief systems pretty much. Um, that person is totally bothered. All right, let's see what's next. I'm thinking I'm gonna chop the weather report into its own video. Um, we'll see, because this is feeling very mutable. I mean, other people can watch it too, depending on where those signs are. But I'll make sure everybody's for the weather report. Six cards. That's too many. Um, what the collective watching needs to know. The collective needs to know. Um, I will tell you the energy is rather chaotic right now. Um, I don't think that this person who's acting like they're nonchalant or the situation is completely cleared out. I will say that. Some of you already know this though. Some of you are like, yeah, I know, because I can pick it up. It doesn't feel like it's cleared out all the way. Um, yeah. It feels like this person or this uh the situation is trying to figure out ways to re-engage. So if it's a situation where you like turn down a job offer or turn down a position, they might be thinking of ways to um sweeten the deal, I'm hearing. Okay, for those. If it's a relationship, this person might be strategizing how to have a conversation. Like, and it feels like the conversation is for them to get clarity, right? Um, I don't know if that's truly the case. Now, if the partner, and that'll be the next card pull because I'm hearing this really loudly. If the partner or family member, this is personal now, not the job or bigger scheme things, but if the partner or family member also has Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, or Virgo in prominent placements, this we'll see. I don't want to give anything else out, but I'm picking up that's going to be our next pull because it does feel like this person is strategizing how to at least have another conversation. Not saying to fix everything, but how to have another conversation. Because it feels like however it was ended, you made it clear that you were done. Okay. So again, if you've had this conversation already and you made it clear that you were done, um, yeah, it feels like this person's like, how do I get this person to talk to me again? Or how do I get this person to have this conversation? Right? We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Chariot. I just don't think this person's done or is willing to, I'm hearing willing to let this go. So, all right. Yeah, because they're really stressed about it. And the thing is, I can't, for some, they are stressed about losing the connection. For others, it's their ego. Um, like, how dare you say that to me? Or how dare you tell me this is a wrap? Like, you don't get to do that. I want to have, it's giving, I want to have the last word energy, big time. It's giving that. Ooh. But the thing is, there's love here. Hmm. Let me keep going. Three. I said six cards, but I need three because I need to finish this out here. I'll say this. It's kind of like giving energy that you're done, but the other person isn't. Like you're done, but the other person's like, not so fast. And you can see that reflected. Yeah, you can see that reflected here in the cards. Like it feels like this person is running towards something that's done, but on their mind, there's the lovers, right? You have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Like this is all their energy. So your stuff's over here. You're really just over here. All this stuff is on them. This is all their space because they really feel with the right words, with the right situation, that they can recapture whatever this is. Um, but they know it's going to take a lot of work to resurrect something from the dead. Because in your mind, it's dead. It's a mute issue. It's done. For them, not so much. So again, this is more if you've already had the conversation or stated your boundary or limit. If you have not had it yet, just be mindful that however you present this information, um, know that it might not stick the first time or the second time or the third time. It does feel like if this is romantic, this person is like, and it's so weird because how this person acts forward facing is not how they feel. So you have somebody who's like, who could be, you're like, you know what, this isn't going to work for me. I'm done. And they're like, all right, bet you take care of yourself. You would think they were not even vibing with you in the first place, right? But in actuality, you're their person in their mind. You're their person. Now, I will say this, that doesn't make it an automatic, okay, well, if they feel this, then we're good. No, not quite, because you can feel stuff all day. If you're not acting on it, what's the point? Right? So be mindful of that because I don't want to make somebody wait longer, even though the energy is not set up for that. It does feel like this eclipse energy is like whatever you want to cut out, they're like, hey, let's do this. It's like a genie in a bottle. Your wish is my command. You want the situation removed from your existence, your experience, we can do that. So the energy is allowing, providing space and support around that. So if this is an opportunity for you to cut dead weight, then definitely use it. But I also, I definitely see this person might act nonchalant and like they really don't care. That's not a true statement. I mean, they might take it to the end with them saying that they don't care, like you were not that big of a deal for them anyway. Anyway, but if that's the case, why do they keep resurfacing? Okay, because think about it. If you're done with something, if the plate is empty, do you keep going back to the table? No. So what I want to do now is look at if you and the other person have placements in Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, what that looks like or what it could look like. I will also say too, oh my gracious, make sure there is backups to backups. Anything that's electronic, any important documentation papers that are in the cloud, and make sure there's backups to the backups. Okay. So if you're saving on a cloud in the cloud someplace, you might want to also save and backup stuff on an external drive someplace in-house, not just in the cloud. There's going to be information coming down where stuff is being scanned. You might also want to look at the fine print in cloud services where you're saving stuff around what is accessible. And if something should happen to that cloud server, where your information is. Like where is it sitting? Um, that's just something I needed to say for anybody, somebody who might be watching. All right, the next this poll is going to be if again you and the person both have this energy. So you're looking at Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius. 6 cards. Six cards, spirit. 6 cards. Cards around connection that have the same eclipse placements. There's that 8 of cups, right? Somebody like, I'm out. Deuces. Let me get something to drink. Hold on 1 second. I'm telling you right now, if it's what I just said on the previous bowl, where for you, you're done, right? You've walked away. You said what you needed to say. You've walked away. The other side of the coin, not so much, right? We have the star, which is healing energy. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is an offer of foundation and grounding. The Ace of Cups, which is love. The Ace of Wands. You have three aces out here. Um, so I'll say this: if the person also has prominent Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces energy, be it their sun, moon, rising, Venus, or any of their personal planets, right? Or stellium, anything where there's a prominent placement. You may or may not know this information, but I will tell you this more so than any other combination here. If you both have similar placements in those four, this person isn't done. Now, how does that work in your favor? It's like recalibrating. I'm looking at the emperor's glasses in this picture. It's like they're recalibrating on you. Like, oh, this person means business. How do I come back with the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands? Come on now. Come on. So you got motion, action, love, and foundation. They're looking at you different. So, okay, now this part's the channel part. Um, they're looking at you different. It's either something you said, how you said it, how you carried yourself. I'm hearing you're not the same person, and they're looking at you differently. They're not looking at you through the old lenses or the old prescription that they had. There's clarity here, which makes sense because those signs are getting clarity here. They're changing deep rooted belief systems, and they're looking at you differently. Um, ooh, this is interesting. The plot thickens. Let's see what they're going to do, though. All right, let's see what they're going to do. And then I'm going to close this out because I don't want to go too far deep down the rabbit hole. What are they going to do now that they're looking at you differently? Wow. Wow. One more card. Because let's see what death's here. Because you have the sun, you have the Ten of Cups, and then we have death. So we're going to see why death is here. Death here, spirit. Putting, oh my gosh, I'm hearing the song. We're going to see what the card says, but I'm telling you what the song I'm hearing. It's T.I. Justin Timberlake. I've been traveling down this road too long, so long. The old me is dead and gone. Now, is this referring to you, to them, both? I don't know. So we're gonna find out. But I'm hearing the old me's dead and gone. So if you don't know the song, it's T.I. and Justin Timberlake, but that's the song that's playing when I focus in on that card. So what is death card here? For some people, I'm hearing, look, don't because I'm not trying to ignite delusion. But for some people, and you might have heard the person say it already, I'm not me without you. I'm not me without you. Or I don't know who I am without you. Um, because you have been a part of this person's identity, I guess. Okay, so they want an end to this discontent between the two of you. So we have the Five of Wands and the Six, I mean, sorry, the Lovers. So there's a desire to end whatever this conflict is. All right. I'm gonna throw some advice cards for you all, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. It's a very interesting read. Again, I'm gonna tell you again, this is not based here. This is on a bigger scale. Watch, look, reassess your circle. People are not who they seem to be. In true color, they're going to be showing in this environment. Two more cards. Thank you. Jeez. And we already talked about this, right? We talked about reflection, focusing on your personal power, and be mindful of distractions. You're clearing out the distractions I'm hearing. So we talked about clouds, and that's so funny because we did a weather report. We talked about clouds clearing out. So this is a great time to utilize that time to clear out those spaces and declutter. Get rid of stuff in your home that you don't need. I know that, it's not spring cleaning. We're going into fall now, depending on what part of the planet you're on. Maybe some fall cleaning. But I'm definitely hearing it's time to clear things out. And it's not superficial stuff either. This is some stuff that's been sitting for a while. It's kind of moldy in the corner. We need to shed some light on it and clean it out because it's like a new birth of a movement coming in. All right. So with that being said, you guys enjoy the energies of coming in. Use it for your advantage. Again, that's another reason why I'm doing this and putting out that weather report to make it more digestible and use it for your good, right? Use the energy. Like energy is not necessarily good or bad. It's how it's used. So if you have transformative energy coming in, you could look at it as disruptive, or you can look at it as the gas that you need to make change happen. And right now, there's a lot of things that need change to happen. So you all take care, stay safe, stay hydrated. Talk to you soon.
Windows cracked and the stars peeking, veil so thin where dreams begin. Whispers hum like an ancient hymn. I sit, I drift, the cosmos spins, lost in the fog where the secrets keep.